guys, we out here today. Uh, I've been getting picked on for shooting a crossbow now for about 12, 15 years. So I've decided to move up to the big boy league and go to the compound bow. Not that I hadn't been there before. I'm 48 years old, so I've killed a lot of deer with a compound bow. But I was young and dumb, and I was pulling 78 pounds for 10 years. I pitched in baseball. I'm a mechanic for my line of work, and my shoulder is messed up. So I went to the crossbow because I'd shoot 7 or 8 times with my bow, and then I couldn't sleep that night. So I quit shooting the compound bow. But in today's world, with the modifications on these new bows, they can shoot just as fast with 45-pound draw now as I used to shoot with a 75 or 78-pound draw. So it got me to thinking. All this talk with the arrows and the weights and all this and everything. Man, I used to shoot an overdraw on an old PSE I bought from what I started hunting with a PSE out of a pawn shop. Had about a 4 or 5 inch overdraw on it. Killed a lot of deer with it. And I got to thinking about why don't anybody shoot the overdraw anymore? And what would the advantages to that be if you still loaded it up with the same broadhead that you would shoot on the longer arrow? The math to me seems to be that it would be better. It'd be lighter weight, flatter trajectory, and I think you'd still get the same penetration, if not at least the same, maybe even better.
Yeah.
But at the very least, you'd have a better pin gap
and better FOC.
and a better FOC. So that's what we're testing today.
Yeah. And we'll put the numbers of the FOC in here as well.
Yeah.
So that y'all can see that.
So I mean, we're not scientists, we're not Ranch Fairy, we're not MFJJ. We're just some rednecks that have an idea and want to see what happens. So we're representing all the folks that don't have ranches, don't have bow shops, that we're shooting Walmart arrows. We got a spare bow here that we're rigged up. We don't want to. He doesn't want to mess his bow up doing this, and I don't even have a bow yet. So
it is ordered though.
Yeah, we have one ordered. I will be going with Team PSE. Precision shooting equipment. Point, shoot, eat. However you want to say it. We're going with PSE. I am. He still has his Matthews. We're gonna see. So anyway, all that being said, we finna try some stuff out.
Let's show them what we got.
Yeah, let's show you what we got.
I guess we'll do that first.
Let me get this bow.
Yep. Don't steal our invention now.
Yeah. Well, we redneck this thing up now. This is a homemade overdraw. We just got us a bracket, extended it back as far as we could to the riser strings here, and put the drop away as far back as we could.
And it is shooting good and tuned, so there's no argument there. It just barely clears the cable cord, and we do understand that most bows, most of the higher end bows, you only get about this much clearance. But if you have a longer brace height, then you'll be good to do something like this if you wanted to.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the PSE Mach 30, which does not have very much clearance here, but I'm still thinking about doing something like this because I'm going to need every advantage I can get if I'm going to be shooting 45 pounds. I'm thinking women, kids, guys with shoulder injuries, what can we get away with? And if it correlates to the guys that are shooting 60, 70, 80 pounds, could they apply it to theirs? I don't know 70, 80 pounds if a little bitty 1 inch will make a difference, but at 45 pounds on a bow like this, or 70, 80 pounds on a bow like this, I'm thinking it's going to make a huge difference, especially in air flight and trajectory, and being able to get to that deer before the deer moves. Understand penetration. All that is better with heavy. The heavier you go, the better your penetration is going to be, even further out. But if the deer's not standing there when the arrow gets there, it does you no good. Or if the deer moves a foot before the arrow gets there, you've penetrated an area you don't even need to be in. So for me, down here in the South, we whitetail hunters. We don't have no elk running around and everything. So I'm thinking it's going to be you know, pretty much a good setup for whitetail. And I'm thinking this could be some good information. So we're gonna see what happens and go from there.
Yep. And I think the FOC is going to make a big difference compared to the weight. But let's give them a close up of the arrows also.
Oh yeah. So this is how much
difference that gave us. Which this other arrow, the longer one, could be cut about 2 or 3 inches shorter if you wanted to. It just depends on how you shoot your arrow. Because some people shoot it longer than others. Some people have it right in front of their wrist, and some people have it out by their sight. So
we left this stock. If you went and bought, a lot of guys I know around here, you know, we all are last minute hunters. We get to, you know, get our stuff together. We don't have time off to where we can shoot all the time, everything. Our bows get put on the shelf, and then we grab them a couple weeks before season. We start shooting, and we're like, oh man, we got to get some new arrows. We run out of Walmart. We get arrows. We don't have arrow cutters. We shoot what we can buy. We shoot what we can get our hands on last minute a lot of times, you know. So, you know, this is a Walmart factory length arrow. So, if you were to be in that guy's shoes and you said, okay, let's spend a little bit more time, let's put an overdraw on and let's cut these arrows off.
Yeah.
How much better can we get?
So, especially for somebody with a budget bow with the longer brace height, this could be huge for them getting speeds up. So
right. And we realize these aren't what everybody choice and broadheads are. This is what we had laying around. These are brand new. These are sharp. So
those are the slick trick S3s or something like SR3s or something like that.
It doesn't have the big massive point on it. It's not a 2-blade. It's not a mechanical, but
it's
what
a broadhead.
I'm looking for is same. See what the difference is. So,
all right.
Blake will be doing our shooting today.
The bow is not set up to us to me perfectly, but it's the only one we got in our hands that we can use for this. So.
Here we go.
But it is sighted in and tuned.
Yep.
So we got the water jugs up there. We're going to shoot it with the short arrow and the long arrow with the different arrows with the broadhead at 20 yards and see. I don't think there's going to be a full jug's worth of difference. What do you think?
I don't either. I don't feel like it's going to be a big difference. I think it's going to be pretty close to the same, especially because one speed is going to be faster than the other. One's going to have a little less mass than the other. So I think they're going to be about the same.
Yep.
But I think trajectory and pin gap would be different.
What's your guess on how many jugs?
What is that, 49 pounds?
Yep, 49 pounds, 27-inch draw length.
I'm going to guess 7 jugs.
Okay. I'm going to guess 5.5.
All right.
Smoked it. Or do we want to shoot both of them and then show them the results after? Both of them at one time? Or never mind, we got it set up.
Okay.
How many jugs is it? 1. We got 1, 2, 3. Here's the fletching. 4, 5. And I believe the broadhead is in this one.
No, the broadhead's here.
Can you see it better over there?
See it perfect over there.
Oh yeah, you can see it way better. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 jugs.
Is that what you guessed?
That is right, baby.
All right, so
now we that's the short arrow.
Yep.
How long was that arrow?
22.5 or 23.5. Right around 23.
22.5, I think.
Yeah, because it was half an inch shorter than hers, which is 23. Right.
So that's the short arrow. So now we're going to reset and see if we get the same. I know y'all are going to say, this is not the same as a deer. We know. This is the best, cheapest thing we could come up with. We don't have a lot of money. So we're doing this the way we can, best way we can, but it does show, it will show the difference in penetration, if it's about the same or if it's not.
And also, we got another test we're going to do to give y'all on some different, more dense stuff as well. So
yeah, we have hack. That's going to be some pretty dense stuff, so we're going to reset and mark it up. So we're going to reset and see what the line does.
Yep.
All right, so this is long arrow. This is a full length 29-inch arrow.
450 grains compared to 367. FOC is different though, and the stiffness of the arrow. We probably should move the dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Let me. Puppies!
Come on.
Come here, puppies.
Come on, Wrangler. Come on.
Get them out of the way, just in case we have a flyer.
All right, we got the dogs out of the way. This is a heavy arrow, still 20 yards. So we're gonna see what happens. Them broadheads definitely fly a little bit different.
Yeah, we did not broadhead tune for this test. So.
We're at the house, so there's not much we can do. See what we got though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So almost 8 though.
Almost 8.
Huh.
Yep. It did get a little
bit more.
A little bit more.
But not even a full jug's worth. Just a little bit more water basically because they both penetrated that jug.
Yep.
So
it did not come out of that jug. There we
yep,
go.
that jug is not wet on this side. You can see right there.
Yep. Same 7 jugs, but it did go a little further in the jug. Just a little bit. A little bit more penetration. But is it worth the height difference?
Yep.
Now we need to show y'all. We're gonna do one more penetration test
at 40.
Hay bale. It's not a hay bale, but it's heavy.
It's bedding and it's packed. It's probably about 40 pounds.
Yeah, pet bedding and it's probably like 40 pounds, so it's pretty dense. We're gonna see what that does. All right, so this is
Gonna be
like pet bedding or something. Animal bedding.
It's pretty dense, but not terrible. It's not as dense as like a Target would be, but
it's pretty dead solid. We saw it and we thought, let's stick our air in that. So we're gonna be shooting, and we got 2 dots on here. We're gonna do a field test, a field point test, and a broadhead test. But we need to shoot one at one and one at the other because I don't want people saying, "Oh, you shot this one and then it got loose and the other one did better." So we're trying to get it as fair as we can. So we're gonna shoot one here and one here
at 40
mark them at 40 yards
to show the difference in weight at a longer distance. Y'all can say, well, you need to do it at 60, but that's a 45-pound bow compared to a 70-pound bow. So 40 should be similar.
So we'll see what we get.
All right. Well, the phone did not video the field points shooting it down there, but we got it over here. The field points went right through it and naturally are back there, both of them, both the heavy and light arrow. But we got right here, if you zoom in real close, you can see the short arrow, the lighter arrow hit the wood, but still penetrated through here. And then the heavier arrow is down there, and it may have got, let's see, I'll just pull them out and hold them.
Yeah. All right, see the difference. Short arrow on the top.
After hitting the wood.
After hitting the wood. Light arrow, the long arrow on the bottom.
Which is heavier.
Which is heavier. So it did go further through, but it didn't go all the way through.
So do we want to do a second test on that? Since the one hit the wood and one didn't?
Yeah, we need, it's inconclusive.
Yeah.
Need to do another test. So we're going to shoot it again, but this time we're going to put, well, if we put anything behind it, is it really testing anything?
Yeah, we won't put nothing behind it.
And we're not putting nothing behind it. We'll move it to where it's not hitting this wood. Okay, say what you want. Walmart arrows.
Yeah, Walmart arrows.
Every fletching still on these things.
Yep.
Shooting through water bottles or jugs and all that and everything. They're doing pretty damn good for what they are.
Yeah. So I guess that's kind of a review on Walmart arrows.
Right?
I know some people that's killed deer with these. I wouldn't personally use them, but that does prove you could.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. Like I say, a lot of folks do. It is what it is. Arrows and arrows. If it flies good enough.
Which,
Like I say, I don't care what you hunt with. I don't care if you're throwing a spear or what you're doing. I don't care if you're shooting a harpoon down there. If you can do it accurately and ethically and kill the deer, then get after it. But
yep,
I just know deer and their reaction time is crazy.
yep,
So we're gonna try this again. Stand this thing up.
where it won't hit the wood.
I'm gonna put something behind it, like not right up against it, but further back, just so maybe we don't lose arrows, and I don't have to mow them up with my lawnmower.
That's odd. And just to be clear, we did not sight in for the broadheads. That 40 yards, I hit it there and there. So not too bad, but could be better. We didn't sight on him. No, for broadheads. Just for field points. But pretty interesting.
Okay, so marker, measure it.
Get real close so you can know we ain't cheating.
All right. So is the poke out about the same? Would we agree? The poke out is about the same.
Yep.
All right. So we're gonna. This is not gonna be a completely 100% just accurate, but you get a really good idea.
All right.
All right. Put down both marks. Pull them out. There's that one.
Let's put them on the table and measure them.
Put them on the table. Put the marker up. Not making any more marks. All right, there's one mark. There's
Got them nice and even there.
Look at there.
Can you see those marks?
The short arrow penetrated a little further than the long arrow.
Wonder what else they can say.
I don't know, but at the very least, it shows me that you don't lose anything.
No.
And you gain tremendously on your pin gap.
Yep.
So
if we wanted to, we could shoot 20 and 40, or both of them at 40 yards with the same pin and show the gap.
Right. That's what we need to do next, is show the gap. And I wish we could have some kind of way of showing the amount of time. I seen a video where somebody did that. Yeah. Where they showed the amount of time difference, and it's in tenths of a second.
Yeah.
But you and I both know a deer can drop inches in a tenth of a second. So if you have an arrow that shoots inches higher in that tenth of a second, you have a lot higher chance of killing that animal. So, but these are the pieces we cut off of these short arrows. So just that much weight difference. That's not much.
I think they're about, what we said, 12 grains per inch. These arrows are, is what we figured up.
I don't remember what that was.
So,
to be honest, that sounds like a lot, but
that's about right, because it was 83 grains, and that's about, I think, like 6 inches. So 6 times 12 would be 72. So.
Yeah.
So a little more than 6. Yeah, that's about right.
Almost 7 inches. So you actually got from the back of the broadhead to the mark there, 13 and a half, right at 13 and a half inches penetration with the long arrow. And let me put this back.
All right, so we're gonna shoot at 20 yards with the pin sighted in for the short arrow, and then shoot the same pin with the heavy arrow, the longer arrow, and that'll tell you how much drop you're gonna have at 20 yards. So I don't even know if we're at 20 yards. I believe it was right here.
Close enough. All right. There's one. We got two of each, so we're gonna shoot two of each to get an average because this bow is not perfectly set up. We need to get the whole bow. This is gonna be our backup bow for the TAC events this year, just in case we do have a malfunction. But it is not our main bow. Not a bad bow, but
Mid-price bow that a lot of people would be shooting.
Yeah.
So pretty good.
Yeah, it's not a bad bow at all. It will kill a deer all day, every day. We just need to get it set up to us better. Oh.
And these are the heavier arrows. That shot was the heavy, longer arrow.
Yeah.
Using the same pin.
And we understand that you can set your pin to be more accurate. We understand that. What we're trying to show is the amount of drop that it takes. It does. The only way you have that much of a drop.
You're not going to be able to range every animal that you shoot at.
Exactly. You're not going to be able to range every animal. When there's that much difference between an arrow you could be shooting and what you're actually shooting, it'll be a big difference.
There you go. Pretty solid group.
All right. So, where's the measuring tape?
All right. So 20 yards, your highest arrow, your highest short arrow, and your highest long arrow. It's going to be 3 3/4 inch.
Yep.
And then your low one, with your lower arrow, is going to be a little less than 4.5, 4 1/4.
4 1/4.
So
3 1/4, 4 1/4. So 4 average, 4-inch drop at 20 yards. So yes, we understand. You can set your 20-yard pin to be accurate with these heavier arrows. You can do that 100%. But your pin gap would be that much tighter if you used the other. Now we're going to back up to 40 and show you how much that is.
40-yard shot with the 40-yard pin for the short arrow.
A short arrow, 40-yard shot. I need to point out these are not tuned. These are Walmart arrows. The nocks are glued in place, or you can't turn them, you can't adjust them, and you do get a little bit of flying variance because of that. Doing the best we can with what we got to work with, but it is proving what we need to prove for today.
Heavy, longer arrow with the same pin.
All right, that was the 2 short arrows. So same pin with the longer arrow. Exact same arrow, exact same field point, exact same bow, just a longer arrow. You can see the arrow kind of sticks out the front. So we are just trying to see how much we gain and show how much you gain by actually just paying attention to a few details. Trying to lighten up your setup best you can. Here we go. Let's go look. 40 yards. Apologize. I am not the best cameraman in the world.
Bow not set up for I guess.
All right. No, he gets the point across.
I hate not hitting wrong.
Well, it's not like you're shooting a bow that is set up for you. So, yeah.
Two short arrows. We're aiming here with the 40-yard pin set up for these. And then we're shooting these afterwards with the same pin to give you the difference.
So he's aiming at the same point. So this shows how much the arrow is dropping just by changing the weight.
So we'll go highest to highest again, which is 11 and a little more than a quarter.
I'm on the wrong side of it to show it, but yeah. Okay.
And then over here, short or lowest arrow to lowest arrow is right at 12 inches. So you're looking at about 11 3/4 inch.
Yeah.
Difference.
Some
at 40 yards.
40 yards. You know, you're talking about almost a foot, guys.
That's a whole deer.
Yeah.
Deer, anyways. Maybe not up.
Yeah.
Up north. Here, whole deer.
Our deer down here, 150-pound deer is a large animal for around here. You know, they don't get, you know, a 200-pound deer here is, you know, 4 or 5 year old buck. So you don't get that big an animal, and they're awful quick. Man, they can drop fast. And I know you're going to be shooting, if you're shooting this longer setup, you're going to be sighted in for that. So you say that's not going to be an account. But what I'm trying to point out is this shorter arrow, just by shortening up your arrow as best you can, getting it as light as you can for the draw length that you have, and then setting it up for the broadhead you want and all that is going to get the best performance, I think, that you can get out of your setup.
Because if you have a deer come out and you don't know if he's 20 or 30, so you shoot for 25,
right?
What's the difference going to be?
The short arrow is going to be a lot lot more forgiving.
Or he's at 30 and you think he's at 20.
Yeah.
We could show that. Shoot at 30 with the 20-yard pins and see if you hit the deer with the short arrow or with the long arrow.
Hey, I mean, with this big a drop, I bet you could do a 5-yard difference.
Yeah.
Just misjudge it by 5 yards and see what happens. Yeah. We'll show that. All right, so 20 yards.
These two top pins, the green is for the short arrow, it hits at 20, and the orange is for the longer arrow, which they're both sighted in for 20 yards. I'm gonna shoot it, show that it's sighted in at 20 yards for both of them, and then we're gonna go to 25 and see with the same pin and see if you misjudge the yardage, if you would still get the deer.
Okay, good. That'll be a good thing to show. All right, so short arrow sighted in for 20 at 20. Money. All right. Long arrow using the pin that is sighted in
for the
long arrow, which is below the other pin. Money. All right. So now we're going to back up to 25 yards and shoot both arrows with the 20-yard pin, simulating a misjudged yardage.
And see how. All right. We're at 25 yards using the 20-yard pin, because not every time when you're hunting you can use the rangefinder. So you may misjudge the deer by 5 yards. So we're going to see if you can still kill the deer using your 20 at 25 yards.
All right, here we go. This is the short arrow, simulated misjudge 5 yards. Lower, we'll show the difference when we get up there. He's going to shoot the long one now. Same thing. We're at 25 yards. He's using the 20-yard pin for the long arrow. All right, let's go check that out.
That's not much difference at all.
It's not bad. It's just 5 yard difference.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So these are the two 20-yard shots, and these are the two 25. So at 20 yards,
these are your 20. This is the misjudge. Both of these are the misjudge.
5 yards difference don't make much.
Yeah, you're talking 3 inches. You know, that's not that bad. That's doable. Okay, so let's back up to 30 and just say you misjudge it bad, and it's
easy to misjudge them by 10 yards.
So let's back up 10 yards to 30 and see.
All right, same test. We got the 20-yard pin at 30 yards. If you misjudge the deer 10 yards off, we can still get it.
I will say this: 5 yard wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. We left the 2 original arrows in the target for the 20-yard control. And this is using the 20-yard pin at 30 yards to see if you misjudged what the difference would be with the different arrows. There's a long one. All right, let's go see. All right, so if you misjudge, you're still not talking about a lot of difference there.
Talking about 3 inches of difference, which 3 inches right there can make a big difference.
Yeah.
But not as major as I thought it would be, but it is a difference.
Huh. So maybe a point for the guys with the longer arrows.
Yeah.
It's not much difference as far as at 30 yards. And the further you go, the worse this is going to get. You back on up to 40, this is going lower.
Yeah.
But chances of misjudging one by 20 yards should be, if you can't get any closer than that, you probably don't need to be hunting.
You should be shooting at that range.
Yeah, you shouldn't be shooting at that range anyway. So, well, like I say, I guess time to target would be the major difference then, because that is not as bad as I thought it would be. We're men enough to admit when we see something that we didn't think we would see, and I thought it would be more difference than that.
Yeah.
But there again, we only cut 5 inches off each arrow. With this same setup on the short arrow, that would allow you to change the spine, lower your weight.
With the lighter tip and still have better FOC.
Right.
Which would make it even faster.
And if it's faster, then your trajectory will be even flatter. So.
But at a point, you are getting too light.
True. You don't want to bounce off of something. You got to have enough penetration to drive through it. I guess then we would need to get into the 42 pounds that it takes, they say, of kinetic energy to get through a deer. Mm-hmm. That's max, like 21 to 42 or something like that, what you need. So then you'd have to start doing some math to see how light you can get. But, still, this does show, just in this setup, the exact same arrows with the exact same bow does make a difference in your trajectory. Yeah. So penetration about the same. So my money's going on the shorter arrow. If I can do it, I'm going to do it.
Yep. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. We appreciate y'all watching. We are going to do a podcast going into depth on this more. I think we're even going to discuss trigger punching versus back tension in that video, and just a whole lot of archery stuff. So if y'all want to see our takes on this, go check out our podcast, which we'll try to get both of those videos up in this coming week.
For those who may wonder about the density of this here apparatus, I got my new Ranch Fairy adult arrow. Here we go.
You're about to miss.
You see that penetration?